Somewhere beyond the recesses of time and space, two podcasters are set adrift in a machine, picking up transmissions of movies that are forgotten but not gone.
Welcome to Movie Memory Machine 5-4, the mini-series where we bring you 5 films thematically related to the movie we're talking about on the main feed. Today we're talking In Dreams. I am your host, Landon Solano, joined always by my co-host, Truman Capps. Truman, it's good to see you.
Landon, it's great to be seen. You know, I've found that the movie In Dreams reminds me a lot of dreams I've had, in that I forget them very quickly after I wake up. So I'm hoping that maybe some of these thematically similar movies that the machine has given us will stick to my old brain meats a little better.
All right, well, should we get to work?
Let's get to work.
All right, here we go with our first film.
A Nightmare on Elm Street? Wait. A Nightmare on Elm Street 2010? What? The remake?
Didn't want to burn the good one.
You, by which you mean the machine, which gives us these movie recommendations.
Well, yes, right. That's what
okay.
Exactly.
So the machine happens to have your exact same taste in 80s horror movies. Interesting. Okay.
This is the 2010 remake, though.
Did you see the 2010 remake when it came out, or did you turn up your nose?
I regrettably have seen this movie. I hate this movie. Yeah. This is terrible and should not have been made. And I'm not one of those like precious, like don't remake my, my beloved film sort of people. But this is just not the way to do it. It was just, It was boring. It was bad. Everything about it, top to bottom, is just awful. But I think we need to talk a little bit further about the connections In Dreams has to Nightmare on Elm Street.
So like the same basic premise that what if a creepy murderer was fucking with your dreams?
What if a creepy child murderer was fucking with your dreams?
Oh, that's why all the parents were mad at him and killed him. Yeah, okay, fair.
Also, like, why aren't more parents mad and trying to figure out who the fucking killer is in this movie?
You'd think, like, people don't really seem to give that much of a shit after Annette Bening's kid dies. They're like, I don't know, whatever. He's in dreams, I guess.
The town stops existing after her daughter dies.
Do you think that the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street is better than In Dreams or worse than In Dreams?
Oh, well, I mean, it makes sense. So on that level, it's better. In Dreams is fascinating, where Nightmare on Elm Street is like, I want to purge this from my brain. Like, I want to forget this movie, and I have forgotten large parts of this movie. Whereas in Dreams, I'm like, I'm not going to remember much of this, but I will remember the mess that exists.
Well, and also, In Dreams isn't tied directly to a franchise that means a lot to you, so you've got that going for you as well.
That's true, yeah. Should we keep going?
Yes, let's keep going. Let's leave this nightmare. Oh, The Dead Zone. Hey, here's a fun one, folks. I haven't seen the movie. I have read the book. This was one of the first Stephen King books I read. And it's from a bygone era when having a photograph taken of you using a toddler as a human shield would be enough to end a politician's political career. Spoiler alert for the book The Dead Zone.
And life.
And I didn't realize David Cronenberg made this.
Ah, yes.
Tell me about it.
Well, I mean, it's a trope unto itself, right? I mean, I was thinking, like, what? This movie's clearly about a person who has prescient visions and needs to stop something. Like, I guess he doesn't have a family in the game. He's just kind of, after an accident, he has these visions and is trying to stop this political thing from happening. But this is done, I think, similarly in that it's a serious movie. Like, it's a genre piece, but it's not played for like schlocky jump scares and shock value. Which I feel like In Dreams is kind of trying to do. Like, it's dealing with heavy-handed themes but by necessity kind of veers into wild, hysterical territory.
Yeah. This movie is kind of really more of a drama about the weight of knowing something bad is going to happen,
Yes.
or believing so strongly in it, and having to kind of wrestle with the whole "am I crazy" of it all.
And am I required to do something about it if I have this vision? I think that's kind of like Christopher Walken's a very flawed character in this movie, and it's an awkward protagonist to follow.
I see. Okay, I need to see this to compare it to my memory of the book, because I find that the way that Stephen King books are. Stephen King tends to, I think, be way more sympathetic to his protagonists than the directors who adapt a lot of his movies are, which I think
Rightly
leads
so.
to him having some conflicts with the people who adapt them. So I'd be interested to see how this one comes down.
Yeah, I think the best way to see Stephen King protagonists are flawed, because his like romanticized version of his characters is like, I don't know, I can't, that aw shucksness doesn't translate well to screen.
Yes, that was a dichotomy I really became aware of with The Shining, where Stanley Kubrick is pretty clear that, like, yeah, any guy who like gets drunk and breaks his kid's arm is a piece of shit, and Stephen King is kind of being like, well, I mean, there may have been circumstances. I mean, come on, guys, let's not be so judgmental.
Let's move on to the next one.
Yes. Oh, the Mothman Prophecies. These trailers scared me in 2002. Boy, it was a spooky thing. The on the phone, he's like, "What am I holding in my hand?" And the spooky voice goes, "Chapstick."
Yeah. I will admit fully, like, there's not a lot in this world that scares me anymore except for the world. But
Nice.
As far as like supernatural stuff, nothing really gets me much these days. The Mothman still kind of creeps me out.
Okay, you got a cryptid. You got a cryptid that really fucks with you.
Yeah, what I don't like about it, it plays, like on the real world thing I have of seeing shadow people, where it's like, he's stated as like showing up in the doorframe of your room with these red glowing eyes and this shadowy body. I'm like, I don't fucking want that. I don't want to open my eyes to see that in the corner of my room. I just don't want it. Can we please remove that idea from my brain?
Every other thing that's happened in a horror movie, you're fine with that. You want that. You want to get Elm Streeted. You want to get Suspiria'd, but you don't want to get Mothman'd.
Give me all the drills to the heads you want, but just put a figure inside of a door frame late at night. I don't want anything to do with it.
Oof. So have you seen Mothman Prophecies, or have you stayed away?
I did.
Yeah?
I saw this in the theater, and it unnerved me. Ooh. I remember watching it again many years later and thinking, oh, yeah, this is more of a drama. It's kind of boring. But I think this one's worth checking out. It's about, like, the connection to In Dreams, obviously, is, like, the Mothman before he arrives, or maybe part of his powers is, like, he gives people visions of a big event that's going to happen. In this particular film, it has to do with a collapsing bridge. And it's just kind of spooky. Who's having visions? Are they real? Are they not? Etc.
They should have called it The Mothman Cometh. Eh?
Oh God, yes.
Yeah, that's what really gets him into the theaters is play references.
In order to take the power out of the character, I sometimes have to refer to him as Dr. Mothman, MD. I don't know why I admitted that. Let's keep going.
a lot of stirring admissions this week. Continue. Yes.
Apparently. All right, here we go.
Oh, the Eye. I am not familiar with this, and it seems to be from a country other than America. I don't want to guess at which Asian country this is from. I'm only going to get into hot water.
It's an international co-production, mostly from Thailand, but there's money coming in from all over the place.
Okay, primary language Cantonese. There we go. That tells me what I need to know. Okay, tell me about The Eye.
The Eye is... So we had a glut of J-horror, Japanese horror at the turn of the century. The Ring, The Grudge, Dark Water, When a Stranger... No, not When a Stranger Calls. What's the other one with the cell phone? Doesn't matter. But
I don't know what I don't know what the movie with the cell. Cell?
Yeah.
Wait, no, not Cell. Searching
it doesn't
for
matter.
Service. T9 Tech.
There's so many of
Snake.
them.
Brick Breaker.
That this one really got overlooked, I feel like. It was kind of big at the time, but in the kind of looking back on the era, we haven't really included it in the discussion. This was remade in America with Jessica Alba. The concept being that after an accident, a woman is blinded and needs an eye replacement, a revolutionary eye replacement, but she gets the eyes of a dead person and starts having visions of ghosts and stuff like that. And it has a centered female protagonist, which isn't uncommon for horror films, but seeing things and trying to get to the bottom of what's happened.
Okay. And does it do the job well? Is it scary? Does it hang together thematically?
Love this movie. In fact, we're looking at a little still image here of a woman kind of looking over her shoulder, and there's a guy with his back turned to her. It's one of the, I think, top pieces of this sort of cinema at the time. She's in this elevator, and this ghost is floating behind her, and she kind of senses his presence, but we never see his face. It's a really wonderful sequence. I don't want to ruin it for people, but highly recommend people check this one out.
Okay, good. So more of a banger than the Nightmare on Elm Street remake.
Oh, fuck that movie. Yes.
Great. Okay.
Shall we move on to our last one?
Let's go to our last one. What do we got? Bad Dreams. They should have called In Dreams Bad Dreams, because the dreams she has are bad, and so is the movie. Oh yeah, tell me about Bad Dreams. Looks like a 80s slasher movie.
Yes. Can you tell by the hand on this poster that this is from the, this cash in on the Freddy craze?
Yeah, and also the fact that there is a shadow in the shape of a long blade cast across the panicked girl's face on the poster. That also gives me an indicator.
Mm-hmm. This stars Jennifer Rubin, who was actually one of the original Dream Warriors in number 3 of Nightmare on Elm Street.
Also the name of a Washington Post opinion columnist, but that isn't really relevant to this discussion. But now we know. Go on.
Now we know. And knowing's half the battle. This movie is not good, but it is fun. It's about a girl who was coming up through like a Jonestown cult who all committed suicide, but she survived. And so the cult leader is haunting her dreams to try to reclaim her, and in order to punish her, starts killing all of the people in the psychiatric ward around her.
So he's not gonna kill her to punish her, he's gonna kill everybody. I mean, that seems a little unfair to the other people.
She thinks so too.
Okay, all right. Well, that's good. Okay, I'm already empathizing with the protagonist. I think that's a really interesting concept of the one person who didn't suicide with the rest of the suicide cult then being haunted by it. Well, why doesn't the movie work in your estimate?
There's an interesting concept in that story, but then it falls too heavily on the body count tropes of slasher films. It has some just really obnoxious characters, actors and characterizations that aren't my favorite. It has Dean Cameron, who no shade on him, I suppose, but he's the guy from Ski School, and he's playing a go fuck yourself kind of psychiatric ward patient, and it doesn't go over. It just doesn't work, and he becomes a pivotal part of the movie, and I'm just like, fuck, would you just shut up? It gets that kind of grating nature, but the elements are there that there could have been something cool here. Richard Lynch is in this as the cult leader. He's a cult film icon. Jennifer Rubin is awesome. She's the one in Dream Warriors who's in my dreams, I'm bad. and beautiful, and she's got this like 10-foot mohawk.
That's
Bruce
cool.
Abbott from Reanimator is in it. Like there's some good stuff here. Harris Yulin, who is just a totally undervalued character actor who unfortunately passed away a few months ago, is one of the bad guys in it. There's a lot of interesting, fun stuff, but there's a lot of just like bleh stuff around it. So it's a good group watch.
I also, this movie came out like 10 years after Jonestown. I'm just trying to think, like, what's the statute of limitations on a tragedy where like over 1,000 people die before you're allowed to use it as the premise for a horror movie?
Well, I mean, depends on how deep into the horror community you are. You could theoretically do it the same year.
Ah, well, okay, but
you could theoretically look at it in the news and go, start the script immediately, please.
Yeah. We'll rip it from the headlines. We'll use the old true crime excuse.
And don't, I'm not going to point to Ty West's film The Sacrament, which is literally like a fictionalization of that, but that came out in like 2011, I want to say.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that was a little longer after Jonestown.
True.
Than, I mean, like, again, still big tragedy, maybe not okay, but it's not like he was just waiting until, a few years after.
True.
Okay, well, Bad Dreams, kind of bad, maybe not so dreamy.
Yeah, but fun enough. Fun enough.
Okay. And fun enough, and 50% of the title is the same as the title for In Dreams. So
there you go.
That counts for something.
Doesn't it? I hope so, because that is our 5-4 for this week. I guess we are going to go see another film now on Friday. So join us here then when we cover whatever that film is. For Truman Caps, I've been Landon Solano.
And for Landon Solano, I've been Truman Caps, and I'm also struggling to find a good way to end this episode.
Movie Memory Machine is part of the Gruntwork Podcast Network. Join our Patreon at patreon.com/gruntworkpod to keep the machine running. Theme song by Porky's Groove Machine. Rate us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. For more information on today's show, visit moviememorymachine.com.